Just invite you all to start a quick check-in, and let's do 2 or 3 descriptors of how we're feeling as we come together. I can start. I am coming in today with the feelings of holding, power, and inspiration. So I'm feeling grounded, powerful, and inspired.
I'm feeling slow, present, curious.
Love the combo. Okay. Patrice?
Scattered, sad, grieving.
Grieving? Is that the word you said? Okay. Scattered, sad, and grieving. Okay.
And angry and resentful.
Oh, we can add some more. Let's get it all. Let's get it all. Angry and resentful. Okay. Trey?
I'm feeling anxious, triggered, emotional, angry, happy to be here.
Okay. And I don't know if Jillian's here. We'll come back to Jillian. All right. Oh, there she is. Jillian, are you ready to check in with a few feeling words about how you're entering space today?
Let's see. I'm whatever the word that is.
Okay.
Running about.
And how does that feel?
I was anxious, but I'm actually feeling surprisingly strong and light at the same time as kind of frenetic. Frenetic isn't the right word. Discombobulated, stretched.
Mm.
There it is.
Stretched.
I love the sun coming in through your windows, Jillian.
Well, I was going to say, sorry that it might make it hard to see. This is a nice, okay, thank you. Tell me if it's hard to look at with the.
Okay, so we have a lot of different feelings coming in today. So holding, powerful, inspired, slow, present, curious, scattered, sad, grieving, angry, resentful, anxious, emotional, triggered, angry, happy, strong, light, and stretched. So we welcome all of those here. They're all part of how we're starting our work today. It's an interesting cast of characters. We've got a full spectrum to work with, which is really good. All right, let's do one celebration each.
I was able to speak with my mother yesterday and give her advice without going into my 5-year-old.
All right. Celebrating holding appropriate boundaries with yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Celebrating you.
I'm celebrating that I did something different last night per your ritual, and I think it's a really good new ritual, which is I've been wanting to do a meditation in the evenings, but I brought in some of the stuff from yesterday. Like I've been doing, roots into the ground and light up for a long time, but I added in the the Great Mother muck and the lotus to it. And the sense of, I was having a lot of big feelings last night towards people at my house. And I was like, I need to bring in some loving kindness because there was all this like rage and other stuff coming up. And so I just did a lot of like working towards manifesting and putting out, that prayer. That sounds very much like a Tosha Silver prayer, the way you put it, asking to be shown the signs and all that, both around my mother and my child. There's stuff with both of them around finding the right solutions and that kind of stuff. And so that was good because there was some bunch of rough moments after our meeting yesterday, and things ended on a more powerful note. I feel like I'm stepping into all that stuff from the meditations, like the strength and the resilience, and I feel like I'm stepping into it.
Okay, so celebrating your ability to do that. We're not in true retreat like we would like to be, where we actually do have the container, and we will. As soon as we get out of quarantine, I have some exciting things to share, but there's going to be a beautiful place to be retreating at soon, hopefully. So exciting. Anyway, so that's really good that you were able to navigate that. Okay, so celebrating you trying new things, doing your prayer, adding to what you're already doing, right? And loving kindness, bringing all of those things in as you're navigating a transition that's less than ideal, really. So good. Okay. Good. Feels good to celebrate. Who's next? Let's do Trey. So perched so beautifully.
I'm still so angry.
You look like an egret sitting.
Like my chocolate now. I'm actually celebrating showing up because I have just a lot of energy and I'm very emotional. And I'm probably gonna have to be in and out because Audrey needs a lot of help today. The girls are home with their school. And I'm really triggered by Jeff and I just can't get myself centered. So
You will be by the end.
what's that?
You'll be by the end, I promise.
I don't know if I should do some jumping jacks or tapping.
Celebrate anger because it is bringing power and wisdom to meet things that aren't quite right. So, right? So we're celebrating that you're here, even in the discomfort of the anger, and celebrating anger. It's fine. Fine to be here with all of that. I really want you all to feel always welcome as you are. There's not a requirement for how to show up in any space that I'm in. Okay. Except for respect and kind to each other. Beyond that, come as you are, please. That's what we're doing, right? We need to create spaces where we can be ourselves. So celebrating you,
The egret.
and your facts, and your fire. All right, Patrice.
I mean, there are some lovely things, but people have shat on them today, so I don't want to celebrate them. They've taken all the
Yes, we do celebration right now.
right. So the things that I would be celebrating, I've had people shit on today. So I
Find a place
can't
to
celebrate them. The only thing I can celebrate is that when my son called, I set a limit.
That's
I
a
didn't
celebration.
bring him headphones. I said I'm using them.
Okay, so
That's what
celebrating
I have to celebrate today.
setting limits is actually a big celebration. Okay, so I know these celebrations are uncomfortable when we're arriving with all of our stuff, but there's a reason that I'm choosing this.
I know you always have a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I trust.
We aren't taught to focus our lives in this way, right? That even in the midst of all of the muck, there is still this other field that we can tap into. Personally, I find it to be like one of the things that sustains me through really difficult times. Okay. So I have a lot of ground to cover today. We'll see what we are able to do. Am I recording? Yes. So we'll just start.
Ria hasn't celebrated.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I did. I said I celebrated speaking with my mom yesterday and being able to give her advice without reverting to my 3-year-old,
Okay, that's what I thought. 5-year-old.
5-year-old.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So, yeah, just noticing how we can celebrate all of these things for each other and with each other. And so today we're going to be focusing on the courage to move forward, working and cultivating courage in our lives. So I have a prayer for us here, which is also from Tosha, because when I'm creating this material, I'm just letting the guides bring the material in, and I'm just trying to follow it and make it coherent. So this is what we got for today. All right, so this one is called Wildly Open. So it is, it's also from the Change Me prayers. Change me, divine beloved, into one who is wildly open to whatever needs to occur at this turning point. Let me trust where you guide my own heart. Let me know that perfect actions are shown at the right time. Fill me with patience and clarity. And let me be genuinely kind to myself and others. All is well. Change me, O beloved, into one who is wildly open and trusting of your plan, despite any current uncertainty. Let me trust that you know exactly where the heck you're guiding me, even if this is not currently apparent. So, wildly open, which of course means allowing everything. Wildly open means having enough space to be present with all of the things, right? The power, the happy, the joy, the celebrations, the angry, the chaos, all of that is present when we're wildly open. I have a few more actual readings.
Is it just the four of us, 5 of us today?
Katie's coming late, and thank you. I'll check. Who else are we-
Kira said she was coming around 10 yesterday.
So, okay. So this is a little reading on courage from Big Magic. Creative living defined. So this, I believe, is the central question upon which all creative living hinges. Do you have the courage to bring forth the treasures that are hidden within you? Look, I don't know what's hidden within you. I have no way of knowing such a thing. You yourself may barely know, although I suspect you have caught glimpses. I don't know your capacities, your aspirations, your longings, your secret talents, but surely something wonderful is sheltered inside you. I say this with all confidence because I happen to believe we are all walking repositories of buried treasure. I happen to believe we are all walking repositories of buried treasure. I believe this is one of the oldest and most generous tricks the universe plays on us human beings, both for its own amusement and for ours. The universe buries strange jewels deep within all of us and stands back to see if we can find them. The hunt to uncover those jewels, that's creative living. The courage to go on that hunt in the first place, that's what separates a mundane existence from a more enchanted one. The often surprising result of that hunt is what I call big magic. So that's a little from Elizabeth. And then I have a poem for us for today. I'm going to mess up her name, but this is from Naomi Shihab Nye. Does anybody have the right pronunciation of her name? Okay.
No,
This is called Who's Speaking?
I said I just seen her name. I don't know how to pronounce it either.
Okay, yeah. I think I messed it up, but I'm sorry, Naomi Shihab Nye. This is called Famous. So go ahead and shift to the inside. The river is famous to the fish. The loud voice is famous to silence, which knew it would inherit the earth before anybody said so. The cat sleeping on the fence is famous to the birds watching him from the birdhouse. The tear is famous briefly to the cheek. The idea you carry close to your bosom is famous to your bosom. The boot is famous to the earth, more famous than the dress shoe, which is famous only to floors. The bit photograph is famous to the one who carries it, and not all at all famous to the one who is pictured. I want to be famous to shuffling men who smile by crossing streets, sticky children in grocery lines, famous as the ones who smile back. I want to be famous in the way a pulley is famous, or a buttonhole, not because it did anything spectacular, but because it never forgot what it could do. All right. It's a fun little poem to think about. Shifting that concept of famous. And now we're going to do some meditation work. And I'm going to try the drum before we go in to make sure you guys yes? Okay. All right, so just allow yourself to get comfortable. Coming back into the sacred container that we've beautifully ignited together. Just feeling that fire building, and that feels a little bit like a clay oven. Stepping into its warmth, its support, and its power. And we can add Kira and Katie because we need I feel their absence. So we just call them in. And just let yourself situate into that power as you are. With all the stuff there with you. Inviting yourself to become present now, right here, with all of us. Bringing that awareness from the thinking, doing, being place into the body. Be willing to feel what the body's asking you to feel and metabolize. This is where we live. So coming into our house, just bringing that awareness into the heart, and let yourself just take a little tour here. You might notice sounds or colors or tightness. Just being curious as you find a refuge in the heart. And if you find things that are difficult to be with, then just breathe in and out of that difficulty, just coming close, backing away, a little closer, resting, and a little closer. And then down into the belly we go. Bringing presence and touch and maybe even movement into that power center. Just listening and seeing what's there today. Listening, sensing, opening, inviting more power. No pushing, just inviting. Perhaps even finding a resting place in that belly, a neutral place to inhabit. So we have heart, belly, and now we go to our ground, our root. And you can focus here on rooting into the perineum. And if that's not comfortable, you can focus on your feet or both. Just finding your roots, resting in your own ground as you deepen into the roots of the earth. Feel your roots merging with those of the Great Mother, completely held in everything that is. Breathing in the support of the roots of the earth. And on the out breath, release anything that you're not wanting to hold right now. Breathing in the support of the deep earth. Releasing what is not yours to hold. Saying, not mine, as you shoot it into the earth. Breathing in more earth, more rootedness. And releasing anything that you'd like down to the Great Mother for her to transform and metabolize on your behalf. You're making an offering of what no longer serves you. And in this place where we are, where we've been visiting, I want to invite you to touch something new. Feel that stirring, that something new. from deep within your body. This might be something you've caught a glimpse of and over the past year or your lifetime or in our time together, or it could be something new that's emerging from deep inside right now. Just go with whatever arises. We're opening this to guides and to psyche. And in this place of embodied heart, belly, and root, allow this something new. And here you find permission to go into the unknowing. Despite the fear and the stories, just releasing all that to the earth for a moment. Release all pressure to hold it together, to figure it out, and just allow curiosity, pure curiosity, for your deep desire that expresses itself through the new. And so it goes that we realize together as we explore that there's truly no ending, no final landing place. Always another layer, another revelation, the old and the new. So we continue to open to the new. Not all at once, maybe, but in little bursts, followed by quiet and rest. Just let yourself discover that ancient courage that is buried in your treasures. That ancient courage to move towards the new. Even if it doesn't make sense, just slow down long enough to let something reveal itself. A wave of freedom, a direction, a story, compassion, whatever it is. Go closer to the new, and if you need to, gathering more courage to see more. Challenging yourself a little to go more deeply, to see more clearly, to open more. When that gets uncomfortable, just backing off and resting in the circle. Feeling yourself on the ground, seeing the sky, listening to the birds, and then returning to the fire. Feel the safety and the holding of this group as you continue to open. Even as there's no roadmap, but inviting psyche to lead. Allowing for discovery. Knowing that you'll be just fine if you let courage in, that you can dare and trust your own intelligence, your own unfolding. Even if there's fear or anger or panic or anxiety, nothing can destroy who you ultimately are. The mere presence of these unmet friends of rage and shame and grief is not evidence that something's wrong or that you're failing or you're unhealed. It's evidence that you're whole, human. Just finding the balance between that alchemical fire and all the feelings, all the guests. And keep releasing anything that, any beliefs, anything defensive that keeps you from feeling into the new. Keeping your breath moving, your heart connected, your belly connected and grounded. Inviting yourself to step into a new role. Of course, this asks us to step out of an old role. Standing courageously in the reality of who you are now. Being called into new levels. Call yourself forward. Stepping out of the tangles, out of the old strategies, out of the old identities. Find that part of you that really wants to step on a new path. Be in awe of the new, awe of your courage and your dedication, your relentless movement forward. You wouldn't be here doing this if you didn't crave that at some level. It's feeling that openness and expansion. Leading yourself through an open door waiting for you. Calling yourself forward with courage. I'm going to do some drumming here and invite you to move further into the new, either through stepping through that door or just continuing wherever you are. So we're deepening into that courage to move into the new. Let's touch the preciousness of this life together. The sweetness, the chaos, the heartbreak, the glory. finding yourself back in that connection with your courage, the new, the creative force, the root system, the belly, the heart. And then just begin to let the breath guide you back. And I'm going to go ahead and do a little, let you guys break out and share that journey before we go on to the next piece.
Is it possible to have a minute to write a few
Yeah.
notes?
Sure. Yeah, let's take a couple minutes and let's take until 9:50 and write or go potty. And then we'll break out. Okay. So we'll just do, we're going to do the breakout, and let's see, there'll be 2 in a group, and Jan is just coming in. Maybe I'll keep Jan with me and get Jan up to date. Let me ask her. Jan?
Hello. Hi. Sorry. I'm going to be not in pictures until I get home, but I did wanted to join as soon as possible.
Okay. We're breaking out into groups now. So we just finished our meditation work, and people are writing up their journeys and going to share. So maybe I'll put you in one of the groups and you can listen and get a feel for what we've been working on. Does that sound okay? Okay.
Wonderful.
Let's So I'm just randomly assigning these. Hopefully, you guys are getting to be in different combinations. So there are 2 groups. Okay, I'll see you guys back here in 10 minutes. I'll send a note. So just share the journey and what you're finding in the new. Yeah, okay, so let's. Oh, you guys are giving. Okay.
Why does it keep going to the wrong monitor?
So, all right, we're gonna keep moving because I have 2 more chunks that I'd like us to try to do in this next bit. You guys would
Retreating from
mute
home is a bitch, people. Sorry.
that
just
we
need to
can.
say that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's regroup and let's mute so that this can be clear on our replay. And so now we're going to do a little bit more, a few more things with this so we can get it articulated, get the new, pulling it through, calling it forward with a few different methods. So we're going to do a little bit of writing per our usual. I wish this was our usual. And I'm just going to start with an Annie Dillard quote. It's about writing a book, but I think it applies equally to creating what we want next in our life. And so yeah, just finding that connected place. We've got Jan back with us, just bringing her into our sacred space, coming into that powerful fire, the cauldron we have created. That feels like a clay oven to me that's building. And finding that heart space, that belly. You might even just touch them. Call yourself here. Finding the roots. Just breathing in all the power and support that we've generated. Breathe out any frustrations, any challenges in your environment. Just keep letting them go and coming back to this rooted place. So this is Annie Dillard, who I love. And this is just a quote from her. Putting a book together is interesting and exhilarating. It is sufficiently difficult and complex. It engages all of your intelligence. It is life at its most free. If you're fortunate enough to try it, it is life at its most free because you select your materials, you invent your task, and you pace yourself. So it's those 3 things when we're creating what's next that become valuable, right? You select the materials, you select the task, and you pace yourself. So we're not saying we have to do this today. And I would add a 4th, which is you offer it to the divine. And so from our material this morning, I have some prompts to share, and I encourage you also, if the prompts are not where you are in your process right now, to just write from wherever you are. So it could be these 3 prompts. Let me see if I can paste them. Calling myself forward with courage. And then I want you just to free write from there, either on your computer, or keep the pen going, or keep drawing, whatever you're doing. Life at its most free, and write from that place, life at its most free. And from that poem, which reframes being famous, right? Stepping into that space. I want to be famous for, or any other prompt or project you have. So we'll just do a 5-minute write here, accessing that writer's voice on this topic of the new. And Trey, if you wouldn't mind muting.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay. All right, so we'll start writing, and I'll be here with you. If you need anything, put it in the chat for me.
Are we picking one or doing all of them?
Can you please chat so people can write? But yeah, you can use one or more than one.
Catherine, can you also mute? Sorry.
And let's just take one more minute and wrap this piece up. Okay. And then I think I'd like to do one more piece of work before we share again. Let me ask you guys, would you like to share from what you just wrote, or is it okay to do another piece and then share? Just let me know. Share now, share later.
We can keep going.
Okay. Everybody okay with that? Okay. So I want to give just one more access piece to what we're birthing, what we're bringing in. So this is going to be a meditation where we go even further out, so further into the future beyond just the what is coming forward right now. No, there's Jan. And so do whatever you need to be able to do a little meditation. Do you guys need to have a bathroom break? Are you okay? You need to take a couple, or are we doing all right?
I'd love a bathroom break.
That's what.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Why don't we take 5? Come back at 10:20, and then we'll do our meditation in our breakout rooms, and then we'll break for lunch. Okay, great. I saw you guys squirming.
We should break for lunch, but then we're done. It's just 9 to 11 today, right?
I can't remember. I'll look at the schedule.
Okay.
I think we aren't having the extra breakout today because of my client schedule. Okay. How are you, Jan? Unmute for me. I want to connect with you.
Hi, I'm good.
How are you coming in today? What are the feelings coming in today?
Oh, I of course inspired. I mean, this whole opening up has been wonderful. The advice yesterday of the untrusting part helped me put that piece in place so that I can free up creative space and not just worry about that. Let somebody else worry about the legal part.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it cost a lot.
Frame it that way.
Yeah, trust the process a little bit.
Yeah. You look cute.
At the Walmart warehouse.
Yeah. Master shopper.
How are you?
January. I'm good. I'm really good.
Yeah.
Pretty darn good. Yeah.
I have to come down just to take a walk with you on your beach sometime soon.
Please do.
Right?
Now it's
You're so busy, but maybe we can do it.
yes. We're going to be in the mountains for a month, but after that, yes.
Are you gonna stay at Ann's? On's?
Well, we rent a house that adjoins hers every season, so we're in the same. We have the same door, and then since we're online this time, we can
Heaven.
yeah. So be nice.
Good. Good.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you should come. It's great. Gotta grab some hot water.
Jillian, what street are you on in San Francisco?
All right. 10:20, and here we are. All right, so Jan, will you please mute? So we're going to go right into this meditation. And this is going to be fun. So go ahead and get comfy. You can sit or lay down, however you want to do this. You might even want to have your pen and paper close by if something comes up that you want to capture. But just find your way back to that place of connection with each other and within yourself. Taking some deep belly breaths, releasing anything that you encountered on your break. Creating your sacred space again. Being determined to keep coming back to you, to this time, to claiming yourself. And if you want to move through this meditation, that's okay too. This is really just about you doing what you need for you. Just relaxing all of the little muscles around your eyes and releasing your jaw. Let your cheeks feel even heavy. Keep noticing the breath. Noticing any tension, and as you notice it, just feel it easing. Just giving yourself this gift. Just let your body even feel light, like water, like you're resting in water. Maybe a deep, calm lake that you're floating in. Just notice the soft current that's in that body of water. Let each inhale relax you, and let each exhale carry the tension away. Just letting the current carry away things that you don't need. Noticing how your feet are feeling, if they're tight or stressed. Inviting them to soften. Let all heaviness leave your body for just a moment. Just loosening up the hips and the calves and the spine. Soften those knees. Breathing in and relaxing the pelvic area and opening that up. Letting your belly release, your torso and your chest. Releasing the upper back and shoulders. Letting that tension just melt into the water and see the current carrying it away. Relaxing your brow. Relaxing the upper arms. Just letting that water hold you. And now notice the spot right between your eyes, that third eye, that visioning spot. And as you notice that third eye, let's just breathe in and out of there for a minute. Slowing down and checking what's there, noticing if you want to open it more or if it feels just right. Notice if you want to deepen in your vision, and also notice if there's anything there that doesn't serve you. And if you find you need to clear it, it's working with the breath to release anything that might be clouding your vision. And you'll know exactly what to do if you find that. You can always just release it to the water. And I invite you just to notice a beam of light stretching out from that third eye on your forehead. And let it have a color if you want, or a set of colors. Notice the quality of the light. And notice that that beam of light stretches all the way up out of the room you're in, above and through the ceiling, out of the building you're in, shining out into the sky. And just start to travel along that beam of light, imagining that you can float up as you walk along that beam, up and out of the room you're in, out of the house you're in, and just follow that beam up into that upper realm, upper world, higher and higher. The buildings below you are smaller, and you notice the beauty of the clouds. The city is no longer clear below you as you keep moving, traveling higher and higher. And as you keep going, you see a beautiful blue globe traveling upward and upward until you're in that blue-black cosmic space. It's welcoming and womb-like and silent, velvety, dark, delicious. And I'm not sure, but sometimes I like to just change my entire clothes, my entire suit in this place. Just notice if there's anything you want to leave in that space, that silent, velvety, dark space. Just taking a moment to just rest in that cosmic womb of the cosmic mother, a place from which things emerge and go back. Just inviting that space to work with you. You might see images or get information, or even release more here. And then I want you to notice another beam of light. And notice its color and quality. And just notice that that particular beam starts to stretch back towards Earth. Notice that it starts to stretch into the future. 10, 15, 20, whatever feels right. But that beam is stretching into the future. So go ahead and step onto the beam out of that velvety cosmic womb and let it carry you gracefully down. As you start to go down, you'll notice the earth coming into focus again. Its contours are getting clear as you come closer, traveling on that light beam. Enjoy the feeling of moving through those clouds again as you go down. See yourself getting closer to the earth. And start to notice that you're going towards a place, a home, a dwelling. And this is the place of your future self. And you can pick the interval. I'm going to say 20 years, but you can adjust. Some of you will want it to be closer, and some may want to see from further. And start to just open to the idea that as you get closer, this beam of light is taking you to meet your future self. Notice what part of the world is coming into view. As you continue to ride down that beam, enjoying the views below, following it all the way until it takes you to that dwelling place where you're going to meet your future self. The light drops you off right there. And you take a look around, noticing what kind of place it is, what kind of land you're on. How does it feel? And as you're exploring, you notice a house, a dwelling. and begin to make your way towards that dwelling. Making your way to the door, you approach it and you see your future self coming to the door. She's warmly greeting you. She's welcoming you. You take in her presence and her face, the feel of her, as she invites you in to her special place. You begin to notice how it feels to be inside her house. Notice if she offers you tea or a drink, as she brings you to her favorite spot in that dwelling and invites you to have a chat. She's fully present to you, and she's ready to listen to you, and she wants to share everything she knows. You can ask her anything you want about what has mattered most to her over the last 20 years or whatever years you're working with. She may answer you with words or story or image or color or just feelings. Pay close attention and listen to everything she has to say. Asking her, what do I need to know to get from where I am to where you are? What do I most need to know? Asking her to share her wisdom. Asking her how you can truly sing your own song. How can I sing my own song? Let her answers surprise you. Ask her anything big or small. Can even ask her about a current dilemma. You might even ask her, what is your true name? Other than the name that you were given. What is your true name? And just be open to how she answers. It might surprise you or make you laugh or might not make any sense at all. Notice if she wants to show you anything else in the house or outside of the house. It's fully open to her lead and her guidance. I'm going to do just a little drumming here and invite you to journey even deeper with her. keeping the focus on opening to her guidance. So we're continuing to open to her wisdom, her guidance, and ask questions. Just begin to prepare yourself to say goodbye, knowing that you'll be able to visit her again at any time. Thanking her for her wisdom and guidance that she's offered to you. Just bringing your visit and your conversation to a soft close. And as you prepare to go, just notice that she has a parting gift for you. Something that she's super excited to give you. Just let her present you with that gift. The gift that will connect you to her. Just taking a minute to be with her and her gift. And then just begin to make your way out of her beautiful home, back to that beam of light that brought you to her. Go ahead and step on that light. And let it carry you upward again towards that velvety dark center. As you go, you watch her home get smaller, moving back through those clouds all the way up into that dark space. And just resting in that space for a moment, letting it hold you and integrate you. And seeing next to you that original beam that you traveled up on. And go ahead and step on that. And let that begin to bring you back down, closer into Earth, closer to this present time. As you travel down, you see the Earth coming into focus, the landscape of where you are, your country, your city, your bird's eye view, following that beam down, back to where you are, back into your home, into the space you're in, coming back fully into your body, finding your breath, feeling the support of the sofa or the chair you're on. And then when you're ready, just come back and we're going to take a few minutes to write down that journey, capturing as much detail as you can. And I'll go ahead and put the questions that I asked in the chat so that you can have those. So let's take a few minutes to write and then we're going to share this. I'm just talking. I'd like to be able to hear, I'd like for us to all witness each other in this share. So we're going to stay together. We might need to go 5 minutes over. Does that work? Okay. So if we could each take 2 minutes to share any part of the future self. And Kira, we've been kind of building on courage, connecting with the new, writing the new forward. And we just went further out to the future self to try to get an experience of that so we can line further out from this, our next phase, into like the next big phase. So if you guys can take, let's do 2 minutes each and just share anything from the future self that you want to. The name, the gift, what she looked like, what her house looked like. I can't wait to hear. Let's go with Jan. You want to go first? January.
I was surprised, but not surprised. It was very, 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 I resisted it, but it kept taking me east into the country, into a reused building, white floors, beams, modern kitchen, open windows overlooking a field and mountains, outbuildings, greeting me, taking me to the kitchen, grandchildren there. But then I kind of asked it, how do I get there? And it did say, keeping this home as my investment is going to get me there, so I don't spend whatever I get from the divorce on rent and trying to struggle here. Like, this is what I need. So, but it was really way more clear, and wow. Yeah, there you go. See you in the Blue Ridge, girl.
Yeah, there. Okay. All right. Who would like to share next? And everybody just witness each person's future self so that we can help hold each other as we hopefully come back together again to support each other in this. So Jan's going to the Blue Ridge. Who would like to go next? Anybody ready? How about Jillian?
I'm working really hard to be here because there's all this stuff happening in my family that I keep needing to be like texting and emailing and checking. And so even during the meditation, like I kept being drawn there. So it's like I had checked out for a minute when you were describing who, but it was my older self. So I ended up not being able to picture a house. I was kind of discombobulated, but I did end up, we just ended up in like the light together. I wanted to be in a garden. I kind of recognize, and I feel like that would be a good place, but not today. But anyway, we ended up in the light, and there was some stuff going on up there, and just, and then when she kind of, something that you said, we kind of embraced, and I got these physical jolts. And there's times that I shake, and especially there's some stuff in the last like year or so where there's a lot going on here where my head will like shake a bunch and my neck will turn, and I get these big releases and healings. And some of that was starting to happen. So something's trying to come through. Some release is trying to come through right now, and that came up. And then she gave me a big red heart that was almost like a big sticker. And then I found myself going, I want protection. Like I want to, like a, please, I didn't mean to, but like what kept leaking out was these requests. So of like a protective shield. So it became almost like the heart came like pasting on like a butterfly wing with the heart and kind of protective, because I just asked for that.
Great. Okay.
So it was a beginning. It was like I was there as much as I could be there, given all the interference that's happening right now between what I need to actually be doing and what I think I need to be doing with my family. That's my journey. Like, can I not do that? But here I am.
Okay, so you can redo it too and keep going back if you want to. But I think whatever you're getting is perfect. I mean, a heart and protection is just what you need. Okay. Let's do Trey. I'm really curious about yours because I kept getting pulled into it.
I'm surprised because you weren't aware, but both drumming sessions, Audrey came in running and said, I've dropped my smoothie all over the carpet. It was all in the shag carpet. So I was sweeping that up. So that was the first drumming session. I disappeared. And then the second one, Issa came and ate her bar and sat on top of me. And then Audrey ran in with a lollipop, and they're all sitting on me. And then I guess the vision was like, this is how it just is meant to be. You know, it was this,
Yeah.
I saw myself floating with my children. So I wasn't able to answer any of those prompts. I wrote something for Life at its Most Free. I can share that, which was related to the ocean if you want. That was our first project. Do you want me to?
You'd like? Sure. Yeah.
Maybe because there's a link with the ocean.
Do this meditation.
What's that?
I encourage you to go back later with the recording of this and do this particular one. It's very helpful for moving life forward. Yeah.
Okay.
And I got a whole thing on yours. It was beautiful. So, okay.
Okay, so Life at its Most Free. Submerged in the ocean, head under the coastline. I hear the silence. I hear nothing. There I rest, held by the underworld of coral, starfish, kelp, seahorses, and mermaids. I am her. She gazes deep into my eyes with her glistening tale of power, resilience, beauty, and guidance. I am free. So the only correlation I have with that meditation then, I guess, is like freedom. I felt at peace. So I don't know. You welcome to share what you downloaded.
We'll do it.
Thank you.
Very clear and up and looking out over a big open ocean, like a dwelling on a cliff almost. Really beautiful. So maybe I was going there because you weren't inhabiting it.
I was looking at Richmond. I was looking at Bonnie Doon last night. You never know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm assuming, Kira, you didn't do that one, right? Yeah. Okay. So Patrice or Rhea? One of you? Why don't you go, Patrice? Because I can't see Rhea. I just see her image.
So there was a house on the beach, and I was thinking, is it Rockport? Is it? And it was close enough that I could hear the waves, but not so close that, there wasn't grass and, there was a little bit of a walk to the beach.
Mm.
And there was this massive fieldstone fireplace and cozy chairs in front of it. And we had tea. And it was quiet and it was peaceful. It was warm. And I got the sense that she shared it with someone, but he wasn't there. This was our time together. And he was respectful of that. And then she took me out to the beach and she taught me how to dance under the moonlight. Mm. And when I asked her, what did I need to know to get from where I am now to where she is, I just kept hearing the word open. And then the other instruction I got was to unhook from everyone, especially Dante. And she offered me love and a beautiful knit shawl. It was my parting gift.
Mm. So beautiful.
And my true name is Astarte, whatever that means.
Astarte?
Astarte.
What does it mean to you?
Well, she was a fertility goddess. Of, the Greek equivalent is Aphrodite.
Mm.
So I guess that's who I'm named after. I don't know why.
Mm.
I don't really know what that means.
Okay, so you can go back and ask. Keep visiting.
But her symbols are the lion and two of her symbols are the lion and the horse. So Got a bit of that shit going on.
Thank you. Okay. Maria?
Hi guys, I apologize. There was vacuuming happening and it was really loud. So I had to turn off for a bit.
Okay. Are you ready to share?
Yeah, I can share a little bit. I'll share this paragraph from the first writing prompt. I want to be famous for following my inner spiritual directive, my soul fire, even if it tells me to let it all go, leave it all behind, and start something completely different, other, and new. I want to be famous for facing my irrational fear of the unknown and saying no to her. That's kind of cool. And then for the second journey, the place that I couldn't really make out the features of the future me coming, but the house I couldn't make out where it was, but it was just very different from any dwelling that I've ever, like I was imagining a cottage. Usually when I do these journeys there's like cottage like, but this was definitely different. It felt foreign. But the where she took me to was the hearth or the fireplace, and we sat there and we were chatting, and I was a little bit, because it was so different, I was like, I don't know, is this what I'm trying to create? And she was like, it's a metaphor, you're just getting bigger. So she was reassuring me. And then she said that to get there, I would have to stay in my integrity and listen. And to me, that meant don't make any pacts with devils. So just be true to self. I have to go. 1 second.
So, this future self becomes like the North Star, so that it's not necessarily literal. Think of this as, did you have more to share, Ria?
Hi, no. One thing is the gift was a quartz crystal, and just a clear quartz. And she said something about living a life that is separate from my sister. That was important.
As she gave you the gift?
Yeah, she was like, your life is your own.
Okay, that's good. So the future self becomes like the North Star that we're architecting towards, right? Think of it like, when you do a business plan and you've got your tenure and you kind of know where you want to go, but yet you're still creating the now. So we want the now to line up loosely with that future self. The future self is like an archetype that is calling you forward. So you can begin to make decisions and feel into things based on how it feels or doesn't feel in alignment with that future self. My future self is actually the reason I'm in Santa Cruz. Nothing else, right? I didn't know I was coming here, but I was in alignment with my future self. The way it felt was not this, but this feels like the next step. So you've got something further out to orient to kind of measure yourself, and it changes. So this is not concrete. I'm going to a home in the Blue Ridge. It's like how that feels to me is what is pulling me forward. And that could be, I need to create something different right where I am right now. Okay. So it becomes sort of this, I think of it as a North Star. Okay. So we have the thing that wants to come now, the thing that we're birthing now, the courage that we need to step into that place, and also this more power from this outer force, right? It's like a soul map that we just kind of laid ourselves into. So I'm going to leave you here today with your future selves. We will put everything up for those of you who weren't here. It might take an hour. And if you can do at least these last 2 bits for tomorrow, that would be great, because we're going to wrap it up. So tomorrow we'll have our time together and then a little celebration. We won't have the break and then the next session. And today we don't have the next session. Okay.
Catherine,
Every-
what do we need to do by tomorrow?
If you could just do the future self meditation, that would be great.
Okay.
You don't have to, but it'd be nice for us to all have that resource. It's not a requirement. Nothing is a requirement. It's just a suggestion.
Do you mean people who didn't do it?
I just screenshotted the questions. So do you want me to go through them and write about them or vision?
However you want. And, you know, the recording will be there too. I'll see if we can pull it out as a separate meditation. Yeah, however you want to access that, that's just a suggestion. The goal is to get further out from here to start to create towards something bigger. However, we did 3 different ways of doing that today, right? Going into courage and feeling the new, writing with those prompts and feeling that, and then the future self. But the goal is to have a very true felt sense of your inner soul's calling forward through all these different materials. If you have that sense, then maybe you don't need to. We'll start with question and answers in the morning. Just let it percolate. Watch your dreams. Let it percolate. Don't talk to your family member. No, I'm teasing. Don't feed your children. I love this. You know, I mean, honestly, you guys, this is it. This is the work for us as women to keep showing up in our cultivated space, that we will not give our dreams up, no matter what everybody's doing around the edges. You have to have that fierce, you know, if the girls want to sit on your lap, all right, great. They're going to tap into their potential to do something different too, right? So it actually, I know that it's frustrating, and one day we will be on this hopefully beautiful piece of land that I'm trying to bring forward for retreating. But for now, this is the work. Every one of us is having this pull. Kara had to go to work. Jan had to do something this morning. I'm sure Ree's got her version. Jillian's got her thing happening. Trey's got her girls. Patrice has Dante. I've got Julian in exams. The dog breathing down my neck. I mean, he's literally breathing under the door for his walk. And you know what? We get this time. We get this. We get 2 hours for 4 days to tell everything to just, I'm going to begin. I'm going to be, you know, just like, no. All right. So I'm seeing you later, a few of you. All right. Lots of love. Thank you for being here and making this powerful circle. What's the word in French?
Au revoir.
Exactly.
Came out funny. Au revoir.
Right.
Ciao.